Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about Disney Mirrorverse and asking the question, will the game last? Now, why we're asking that question, the answer may surprise you, or it may not, but we are going to be taking a look at some facts, and we're going to be taking a look at some financials, so if that kind of stuff interests you, stick around. But first, before we jump into that, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Why are we asking this question? I'm seeing questions being asked about the longevity of this game. I'm hearing questions being asked about whether this game is dying. Is it slowly dying? Is it quickly on its way out? So I wanted to create this video and put a bunch of facts behind my thoughts. Now, I am semi-educated in this area. So again, this is all just my opinions, my thoughts, and what I was able to dig up out of the internet. But we got some hard facts and some hard data to take a look at. I think also one thing that we need to do before we jump into this is really kind of level set. All right, this is a Disney property. Now, at least from what I've seen, and I'll show some examples in here, Disney properties in the mobile space, at least, I don't know about other spaces, they kind of hover around the same area, it seems, as far as revenue and ratings and things like that. So let's just kind of give a little bit of a setup here. First off, obviously, this is a Kabam game. Kabam is a Netmarble company. So we're going to take a look at some Netmarble financials and just kind of show you kind of what we're seeing right now. Also, I use some data from Sensor Tower. We're going to take a look at that as well. But if we take a look at it, I'm going to show the grim stuff first, and then we're going to kind of get into some other stuff. If we take a look at this, this is an investor relations presentation from Netmarble. These are done quarterly. This is Q3's data. So this is, July, August, September. So this is what I'm basing this off of. Now, we won't have Q4 data. This presentation won't come out until the investor relations meeting happens later this year. I think it's going to... We'll probably be able to pull this information down next month in February. So taking a look at Q3 data, I just pulled up this slide here. This is their game portfolio. And I like looking at this because it takes a look and breaks down where their revenue is coming from. As you can see, 33% of their revenue comes from other games. But look at this. Marvel Contest of Champions, 11% of their revenue. Cash Frenzy is 8%. Ni no Kuni, that's a newer one as well, 8%. You got Marvel Future Fight still in the fight here. That's been around for a really long time at 2%. Here's the grim part. You don't see Disney Mirrorverse anywhere here. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Disney Mirrorverse seems to be lumped in with others right now. So we'll see. Again, remember this game is less than a year old. So I think it's it's 6 months old now. So it's lumped in with others. It's not broken out by itself. So when you take a look at this, when you take a look at maybe some other people who are saying some things, it may look a little bit grim for the game. I don't think it is, though. I'll just tell you, I don't think it is. Again, I don't think it's very grim for the game. I think, again, level setting the Disney properties, I think it's going to come into play. Now, one thing I did take a look at as well, EA has Disney Sorcerer's Arena. Now, they don't break it out like this, so I couldn't really pull out what Disney Sorcerer's Arena is, but I did take a look at Sensor Tower. A lot of my data I get here. Now, the information that I'm presenting here, I think, is a little bit lower than, at least from what I've been told, talking with some other developers and stuff, when I ask questions about Sensor Tower data. The numbers here are a little bit lower than what are actual. So, but I'm just going to go off of what Sensor Tower is showing. So right now, I have Disney Mirrorverse pulled up. This is for Google Play, so this is Android, and you can see the rankings as far as we're looking at here. Look at this. So beginning of December to beginning of January, just over this last month, this top line here, that's the top grossing role-playing game here. They're in the top 100 for top grossing, which is good within the last month, right? Also, if we take a look at the second line, that's another one I look at, is top free game or role-playing, right? They're in the top, down in around the 250 range. They pop up here in mid-December. They come back down, and then they're coming back up here in January. So, but they're pretty steady as far as grossing. So they're bringing steady income in, which is always good. We're not seeing a decline there. So I think that's positive for the game as well. Again, this is strictly Android. We'll take a look at Apple in just a second. But we are seeing an increase here in this red line here, which is like right now they're number 122 for top free game under the role-playing category. Now, I'm going to click on this in here. Wow, my voice went up. Anyway, no, I'm not Mickey, but let's take a look at this. I'm just going to go Disney Mirrorverse. Now we're going to take a look at their revenue, right? So if we take a look at, so the Apple right here, this right here is telling me in the previous month, so in the month of December, they brought in 600,000. This right here, you can't see it because I have it selected. You'll see it here in a second. Android brought in 400,000. So Apple users are bringing in more revenue for the company than Android users are, but 600,000, 400,000, they're bringing in $1 million in the last month. That is down a little bit from when the game initially released, but that's not necessarily anything that anybody should be worried about, because every time, I swear, every single time a brand new game comes out, you see revenue peak because everybody's jumping into the game. People are buying a bunch of the free packs, stuff like that. So you see this nice increase in revenue. At about the 3 to 4 month mark, it kind of levels up. Levels out, comes down a little bit, and then we kind of get a true sense of what the game's really going to pull in. Now, this is actually better than some of the other games, some of the other Disney games. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. So if I click on Apple here, click back up here, you can see right there, 400K. So about $1 million across both platforms for Disney Mirrorverse in the last month. So that's, you know, that's pretty good. If we take a look at the rankings here, iPhone grossing right there, you can see that top line, that green line, they're right up there too. They're in like the top 100. You got a couple areas where they drop into the 50s, but I think for the most part, you know, they're top 50. A couple months they go up above 50. Also, the not the iPhone free game is that orange line right here. So it's pretty in line with the Android as well. And then over in towards the end of December, we see it increase over here as well. That orange line coming up. Again, that's a positive. You're going to see kind of this wave effect across actually a bunch of different types of games when you take a look at that. But again, that's good. You're not seeing a massive decline. You're not seeing them drop to like 500 or anything like that. They've been pretty steady. Now, again, remember, we're only 6 months in, but I don't think it's grim. I really don't, like I was talking about earlier. So let's take a look at some other games here real quick that I want to just go over. So if we look at Disney Sorcerer's Arena, right? Sorver. Here we go. Sorcerer's Arena. So with across Apple and Android, they brought in 500,000. So they brought in half of what Disney Mirrorverse brought in. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at another one. As far as revenue, let's go and take a look at Disney Heroes, right? This one right here, look at, they only brought in 400,000, so less than what Disney Sorcerer's Arena brought in. Frozen. There's a Frozen one, right? Disney Frozen, look at, they brought in close to 400,000. So when you take a look at the revenue and just across Disney mobile games, Disney Mirrorverse is actually on the higher end of that. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go back to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. And let's just take a look at their ranking. So if we take a look at the rankings here, again, we're in that top line, close to the top 100. They're a little bit over the top 100 right now, but again, pretty steady. And that is for Android. If we take a look at Apple here, also again, they drop below and come above that top 100 a few times, so you kind of see that wave effect again. But I mean, they're not dropping into like the 200, 300, 400 range. So they're doing pretty good as well, pretty decently. But again, Disney Mirrorverse, they are they're at the top there. They're at the higher end of Disney mobile games. So just kind of taking a look at it and asking the question, is the game going to last? I believe so. I wholeheartedly believe so. I think they're bringing in the revenue for it. I know that they've got this whole slate of stuff coming up. Anytime a new game comes out, they've got at least 2 to 3 years planned for it. So there's a lot more stuff coming. I can't wait to find out what other game modes and things are coming for the game. But I definitely think the game is going to be sticking around. I think they've got some cool stuff coming. Kabam is a great company. I've worked with some of those developers. And what I mean work with, I've talked with them a few times, been part of a few content creator programs for Kabam games, and they're always great to talk to, and they're always helpful, and they always got some cool stuff, and they're just cool people as well. So I think this game is going to be fine. I think it's going to be good. If you're not liking what's in the game, I'm not going to say the game's perfect, not 100%. There's always things that I think we would always like to see a game do or add quality of life stuff, specific game modes, specific characters, things like that. Innovative things to just kind of liven up the game itself. So I think obviously there's definitely some room for growth, and there's definitely some cool things that could be added. But I think a game as a whole, it's a solid game. Again, it's on the upper end of Disney mobile games, at least from what I can tell with the limited information that I have. But I think it's good. So I'm very curious. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling about the game? What do you think about the information I just showed? I tried to be as factual as possible and just give you my thoughts around it. Definitely going to be sticking with the game for a while and seeing where it goes, because I am excited to see what this development team it has in store for this game. All right, everybody, that is what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.